What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode of our Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode series on NHL 22. We'll be going into our second season with the Hawks, and I'm actually recording this intro after I simmed through the season and recorded all of that stuff. So I just want to say I had an absolute blast with this second season. It was so much fun. I don't know, just lots of interesting things happening that like I said, it was just a blast to record this season, and I hope you guys enjoy it. We're going to be going through the 2023-24 season. Obviously, we're still trying to tank this year, and yeah, all I can say is you'll see some of the efforts and some of the payoff with tanking this Blackhawks team for the second season, and I am excited for y'all to see it. So as always, if you enjoy the video, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. The support helps me out a ton. I'm so glad you are enjoying these videos. So let's get right into it. The 2023-24 season with the Chicago Blackhawks. Enjoy. Alright, so as always, to start off these franchise series episodes, we're going to go over our lines headed into the 2023-24 season with the Chicago Blackhawks. First line here, we got Jeannot, Johansson, and Domi. It's actually interesting. We have three players from the Predators on our team this season after we signed Jeannot in the offseason. Two-way contract, $1.9 million. I think that's a pretty good deal for him. Then we have Radis, Reichel, and Niederreiter on the second line, Entwistle, Kurashev, and Kasha on the third line. Then Kachuk, Johnson, and Cogliano on the fourth line there. So, you know, still a pretty, rough team overall, I say. I think, our top line's actually pretty good, not gonna lie. I may honestly look to trade Johansson and Niederreiter, either or maybe even both. If they're playing well, that'll increase their trade value. Then we got Dylan and Jones here. Jones actually went up to 87 overall, so that was good to see. Murphy and Ian Mitchell, and then Stillman and McCabe on the bottom pairing there. So defense, aside from the first pairing, looks pretty rough. And then in net, we got Mrazek and Soderblom backing him up. Mrazek there went up to an 82. Soderblom, a better goalie than Stalock. Hopefully he'll develop a little bit, 24 years old, so he's got some room to grow. You know, power plays, they look pretty rough. Special teams are rough on this team. -1 on the first unit, -2 on the second unit, then -3 on the four-man, and -2 on the second unit there. As far as penalty kills go, not terrible. Slightly over 50-50 on the correlation there for PK1. PK2 gets a -1 and PK3 -3, but again, how often are these guys going to be out there? Three-man has a -1, which always hard to get chemistry on the three-man, so -1 on the first unit honestly isn't that bad, and our first unit PK looks pretty good. So overall, this team looks pretty rough again, but like I said, Johansson there is our best player on the team, along with Jones for the defenseman. Probably going to look to trade Johansson if he's doing well. And like usual, we're going to sim out to the new year, January 1st of 2024, and see how we do then. Maybe make some moves before then, but most likely not. You know, we do want to tank this year, at least do pretty poorly this year again. We got two great draft picks, so yeah, we'll get into the sim here and see how we do. And guys, I actually want to show you something. I realized that we have 3 first-round picks this year. Tampa's pick likely not going to amount to too much because they're probably going to do well, but we do have ours, which is probably going to be good, and Nashville's, which might be good as well because they're not really doing too well. In the sim, for whatever reason, we also have their second-round pick. So first round could be really good for us if we don't do well and Nashville doesn't do well. So we're going to monitor that and see how that shapes up for us. And then I also did just want to show you our rookies here. We have Jaeger, obviously, our top, prospect from real life, but then we have Mikhail Carlson, who we drafted right after Jaeger, who came out at a 78 overall. At 12th overall in the draft. Absolutely insane. So we're hoping that he develops really well. We're going to give these guys probably a couple years to marinate in the minors. I don't know why I said marinate. We also have Korchinski here. was up to a 76. So we have some really good prospects coming up. It could be exciting. They'll probably make the team next season. And yeah, we're actually going to get into the sim now. Alright guys, so it is officially the new year, January 1st, 2024, and thankfully we are doing horribly this season. So we're currently 11, 18, and 5. Seth Jones is literally our leading scorer, 32 points in 34 games. Dead last in the Central Division. You can see that the Predators 19, 13, and 3, so like they're doing better than we're hoping for that first round pick. And obviously the Lightning, they're doing really well. But the Predators, you know, still really tight as far as playoff spots go. Super early look at it, but still, you know, if we keep up this pace, it looks like our first round pick, you know, could end up being really, really good. Has a good shot being a lottery pick there. So we're going to continue to sim out to the trade deadline. I think as of now, you know, we wanted to do poorly this season, and that's exactly how it's going. So I don't see any need to make moves unless it looks like there's a good prospect or, you know, a draft pick or something that we can get. So yeah, we'll sim out to the trade deadline and, you know, evaluate how we're doing then. Alright guys, so at the trade deadline here, we have a record of 25, 27, and 9. Seth Jones still our leading scorer, 59 points in 61 games. Dude is actually playing so well for us this season. Still last in the Central there. Predators fighting for a playoff spot, so, you know, really hoping that they kind of drop out, as that would give us a better first round pick. Lightning there at the top of the Atlantic. So yeah, 54 points. Red Wings and Kraken there doing worse than us, but still in a pretty good spot at a shot for a pick. Really high pick in the first round here. So we're going to head into the trade deadline. I may trade away like Johansson, like, you know, our top line center, try and tank even further for the remainder of the year. And yeah, we'll see what we can do. Alright guys, so I'm trying to make a trade with Carolina, offering Brian Johansson and our 4th round pick next year in exchange for Brady Shea and Ryan Suzuki. Shea is mostly there for the cap because, as you can see, we're so below the cap hit. Like, we have so much cap space for the future. So he only has 1 more year and he would sort of fulfill the cap space there. And then Ryan Suzuki here, medium top 6 potential, 22 years old, 79 overall. A pretty solid prospect, honestly. Good playmaker, like his hands are so good, his shot's pretty good too, really good skater, and, you know, would fit pretty well into our lineup all around. So I think he's a good prospect for us to target here. Again, 22 years old, 79 overall, ton of room to grow. And again, Shea there just for the salary cap mostly, but he's also not bad, 29, 82 overall. Contract's not the best, but again, we need the cap. So we can always let him go after the season, but he will help our defense just a little bit. And okay. Duran, not on that contract. Okay, so we have to go back to Carolina. And yeah, I think that's a good trade for us. I like Suzuki a lot. He's good. And so we will put this in real quick here. It's kind of a stretch because they don't have either of these guys on the, did they trade away shit? Oh no, they didn't. Okay. They don't have either of these guys on the block, so it's likely they say no. The value is quite even, so we'll see what they say here. Oh! I was actually kind of expecting them to say no to that because neither of those guys were on the block, but okay, you know, clear up some more cap space for us as well. Johansson's contract wasn't great. So we get our top line center out of the way, bring in a really nice prospect in Suzuki and Shea, who's going to help out our defense just a little bit. We have a trade here. I follow and a 3rd next year for a 2nd and 3rd this year. I'm going to say no to this. Again, you know, this year we really want a lot of picks. As much as I like I follow, I just, yeah, we want to keep as many picks as possible in this year's draft. Next year, though, that's when we can consider you know, doing more with trading picks and whatnot. But this year we want to keep as many picks as possible. So we're going to keep heading through. Ryan O'Reilly there on the Capitals. What? The Kings are selling out hard. Oh my gosh. I'm just actually curious. Yeah, Fleury there. Okay, so a lot of interesting stuff happening. Marchessault and Pietrangelo there. So a lot of these contracts are coming to fruition for some of these teams. But we'll keep making our way through the deadline, see if we want to make any more moves. Alright, so the trade deadline is over. As you can see there, LA did find a new home for Iafallo with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Go through the rest of these trades, see if there's anything big. St. Louis getting Comrie from Buffalo. Let's see, Colton Sissons there going to the Arizona Coyotes. Predators getting Barbashev, Brendan Lemieux in a third in exchange. Blackwood and Ryan, they're going to the Ottawa Senators. There was our trade for Suzuki and Shea. Nashville there getting Gustafson and Foligno from Minnesota. Sean Walker there going to Dallas. Let's see, Chandler Stevenson there going to the Penguins. So honestly, not a very active trade deadline overall. No huge trades. But yeah, overall I'm happy with our trade. I think that, you know, this is interesting. It's Wyatt Kalynuk on waivers. 2678 though. I mean, could be like a good AHL player though. We'll take him, I guess. But yeah, I think it sets us up. You know, Suzuki's a great young player, only 22 years old, so we got a lot of good prospects in our pipeline now for the future. And we're going to sim out to the end of the regular season. Obviously, we're not going to be making the playoffs barring some kind of miracle, but yeah, we will keep going to the end of the regular season, see how we do. And Predators there, again, fighting for a playoff spot, you know, pretty close race there. So if they end up not making the playoffs, that would be better for us, obviously, since we have their first round pick. So let's sim out and see how we do. Alright guys, to end of the regular season, we finished with a record of 30, 40, and 12 for 72 points there. Oh, the Red Wings there outlasted us by 1 point for dead last in the league. So the Devils there as well, 73 points, and the Kraken was 79. So we have a really good shot at winning the lottery here, which is really, really awesome for us. As you can see there, guys, the Predators as well did not make the playoffs. They ended up finishing 38, 37, and 7. So that's also pretty good for us. They're probably going to end up having like a mid-round first-round pick, which really isn't all that terrible. I was taking a look through the prospect, the draft class, and there are a lot of really solid prospects. So that actually ended up working out pretty well for us, getting their first-round pick this year. And obviously the Lightning there finishing first in the division, and they'll also get the President's Trophy, 111 points. So obviously their first round pick isn't going to amount to much, but really happy that the Predators dropped out of the playoffs. That definitely bodes well for us with their pick. And again, our first round pick has a really good shot at winning the lottery for that first overall pick. But as you can see there, Seth Jones leading our team in points, 70 points. Everyone else, plus minuses. Oh my gosh, Domi and Jeannot. A 0 and a +1. That's pretty nice. Jeannot and Johnson both scored 28 goals. Johnson was on the 4th line for us. That's actually kind of insane. Reichel there though, putting up 33 points, not bad, up to an 83, up from an 82. So he's developing really, really well for us. So that's honestly really good to see. Let's check the entire league. So Matthews, Marner, and Crosby. Only 3 of them, only 3 players again eclipsing the 100-point mark there. McKinnon there though, 99 points right behind them. Zegras came, Makar putting up a massive season. Oh my gosh, 91 points. Let's check the goals here. Yeah, Matthews there walking away easily with the Richard, 68 goals. My goodness, dude is just insane. And then we'll check the defenseman. Obviously Makar on top. Yeah, he's a pretty solid lock to win the Norris this season. Those were insane numbers. And then checking on the goalies here, so Vasilevsky leading the way with 45 wins. As for stats, though, the best save percentage for a starter would be Saros with .919, and Sorokin right behind them, .918, but Saros also has the better goals against. Also be Vasilevsky tied. So it could be between Vasilevsky and Saros for the Vezina there. Saros put up the better, numbers as far as save percentage goes, but Vasilevsky, same goals against, more wins. So pretty much a toss-up between those two. And let's see. I want to see rookie skaters. Let's see. So Bolduc there. Pretty impressive Shane Wright putting up 57 points. Eklund. Yeah, pretty nice list here there. I like to see that. So we will sim out and go through the playoffs and see who wins the Stanley Cup in 2024. And so just a little look at the playoff picture here. For the Western Conference, we have the Ducks and Kings, Sharks, Knights, Stars, Wild, and Avalanche, and the Jets. As for the Eastern Conference, we have the Canadiens and the Lightning, the Maple Leafs and Panthers, then the Rangers and Hurricanes, and finishing out are the Penguins and Bruins. So some pretty interesting teams that are making the playoffs this year. The Canadiens, one of them, and then, Ducks there, the Sharks there. So some pretty interesting playoff pictures here. Like Edmonton's not in it there. So, Washington not in it on the East. So, pretty interesting picture here, and we will go see who wins the Stanley Cup. Alright guys, we're at the Western Conference Finals. We have the Jets and the Sharks, and in the Eastern Conference there, the Penguins and the Panthers. As for the AHL team, we're in the Western Conference Finals, so we're going to be monitoring them and see how they do, but yeah, pretty interesting playoff tree here. I like it, so let's keep the sim going. Alright guys, we have a, 2016, I believe, rematch of the San Jose Sharks and Pittsburgh Penguins in the Stanley Cup Finals. Our AHL team is also in the Calder Cup Finals. They're playing the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, so the Penguins organization having themselves a year, both teams in the finals. So really quick here, let's actually just see how our, we're down 1-0, bad 7-2 loss, but let's see how we do here. I'm invested, so we're down 2-1 in the series here. Tie it up 2-2. An OT loss could be it for us. Oh, we get a win, game 7. Bang! Let's go! And there we go, the Pittsburgh Penguins ended up winning the Stanley Cup, so we spoiled their franchise attempt at a sweep there at both leagues. So our AHL team ended up winning the Calder Cup. That's actually so awesome. Our NHL team there, absolutely brutal. So let's go here and just take a look at the playoff tree, see what the Penguins did to win the Stanley Cup. So wow, they had a hard-fought run to it. Boston in 7, Rangers in 7, Panthers in 6, and then the Sharks in 7. As you can see there, the Sharks going through Vegas in 6, LA in 5, and Winnipeg in 6, before obviously falling to the Penguins in the finals. So that was a really good playoff tree there. The Lightning President's Trophy winners getting knocked down in the first round by Montreal, of all teams. So, and the Leafs, they're still not making out of the first round. 2 years later into the sim, they've been eliminated in the first round both times in seven games, which actually continues that streak since they were eliminated in 2022 in 7 games by the Lightning. So that's a really tragic story for them in the simulation. We'll see how that one turns out for them. But yeah, I like this playoff tree here. Really nice. Let's take a look at the awards here. Obviously Pittsburgh there being the odd man out the last 5 seasons. Let's take a look individual. So Matthews there, Art Ross, and Hart. Makar was a lock for the Norris. Patty Kane on the Ducks now. My goodness, gets a Lady Bing. Bolduc there with the Calder, Malkin, Conn Smythe. Sorokin there winning in. Hello? Did I like grossly miss something? I probably did, but I really thought it was gonna be like Vasi or Saros. Anyway, and Anderson gets the Jennings, okay. Edler with the Bill Masterson, Kings coach with the Jack Adams, Crosby gets the Selke, Matthews, Ted Lindsay, and Maurice Richard. So Matthews absolutely cleaned up this year, my goodness. But yeah, that was that was actually a really good season. Like for the rest of the league, not for us, obviously. But yeah, so we're gonna have the draft lottery here. I'm really nervous. I really hope we win it. There is a franchise level player in this year's draft, franchise potential. So it would be awesome if we could win the draft lottery. And we're gonna sim out and hope for the best. Oh my gosh, guys, this is tragic. We went from second to fourth. Arizona jumped from 5 to 1, and Edmonton jumped from 9 to 2. What does Edmonton need that second overall pick for? They have McDavid and Draisaitl. Why are they sucking with them on their team? And we also have the 11th pick, though, via Nashville, so that's actually quite good, honestly. We got Jaeger last year at 11th, so not salty about that at all. That trade worked out pretty well, but dropping from second to fourth is unfortunate. Maybe we try to trade up. Maybe. We might pull something off here. So let's get into the draft, guys. Oh, I always forget about this. We'll just view the retired players real quick. Probably not going to be too much. Let's hang there, actually. Calling it quits. 37 years old. Eric Stahl, Shea Weber, Kessler, Lucics. Anyway, forget that happened. Cogliano, Bodker, Clutterbuck. Let's check the goalies out. Price there. Good on him, man. Bishop, Schneider, Salok, Enroth, and Adocalio. Interesting. So, Price there calling it quits. Good for him. So let's get into the draft, guys. Wait, they didn't take that guy? Pause. Is this guy like a bust or something? Medium French, but there's no possible way this guy's a bust. No, we scouted him too well. No way. Alright, guys, we can get Edmonton, so I don't want to overpay like crazy. We have some really good prospects already, you know, Jaeger and the EA generated guy. So I think 4th and 11th, I think we're going to end up with really good picks still. So let's see what happens. 84 franchise though, are you kidding me? Oh my god, why did Arizona pass on him? I mean, Tanner Howell, like, he's really, really good. He's gonna be amazing. But like, I know it's an EA generated guy, but still, that's insane. Let's see who Detroit picks. High Elite, 75 overall. Lacerte. Alright, so we don't need a defense because we selected one last year. So we have Kim Hornquist here. Oh, no X Factors. I was thinking of selecting Villeneuve, I guess. Stats were pretty nasty. Says NHL already similar style to Patty Kane. Full circle here. All these X Factors, like offensive ones too, you know, ankle breaker, third eye. Yeah, looks really good. Two-way forward. I say we take him, and we'll still get a really good player at 11th. And let's see what he is. Oh, 79 medium elite. Are you kidding me? Oh, what a pick. Look at the stats, though. So this is a playmaker, actually. Even though it says a two-way forward, that's very accurate. Pretty much perfect hands. Great discipline there. Really powerful shot. Hopefully his defensive stats develop a little bit more, but that is a phenomenal pick. And we will sim out to our next one right at number 11. Alright guys, I think I'm going to go with Casey Apostolopoulos. Awesome name, by the way. Listed as a playmaker here. 17 years old. Stats were okay, but he also didn't play that much. We scouted him okay, but 100% accuracy on NHL ready. Really good chance at being medium elite. And chances for all these X Factors. I think he's too good to pass up at number 11. Everyone else there looked okay, honestly. I think this guy looks like the best one. And what? Pause. 81 medium elite. Going 11th overall. It doesn't have a zone ability, but all those superstar abilities and the stats are unreal on this kid coming out. Oh my gosh. That was unreal. He's 81 medium elite at 11. Did any other person get one that high? It was 79, 78, 78, and 79. No, so after Galvin here, that generated guy that Edmonton got, we got the two best picks. And this guy, Massey, there, looks pretty good too. He looks pretty nasty, 18 years old. But our guy here's 17 years old, 81. Oh my goodness, man. That Nashville pick. Listen, I was getting some heat for that Nashville trade last year. I don't want to hear anything about that now. I don't want to hear anything. That's unreal. I don't think I've ever had a pick like that, you know, outside the top 10 in the first round be that high overall. Oh my gosh, our prospects are stacked now. And we actually have Tampa as number 28, so let's see what we can do with that one. Alright guys, I think I'm going to select Miguel Marquez here. Pretty solid on 3 years ETA, pretty solid on some superstar abilities. Skills there look pretty good, and his stats were pretty impressive as well. So late first round here, not much to lose looking at everyone else here. Let's see what he is, and he's a medium top 9, 65 overall, so could have been better, but like looking at these picks here, you know, these were good picks there. Wow, it looks like they were kind of mixed and then they're just kind of dropping off, so like not the worst pick. Decent skater, decent hands, decent shot, so you know, obviously late round, not much you can do, but yeah, looks good, and we'll head into the second round here at number 34. Alright guys, I'm gonna select Joaquin Curry here. Like, didn't play all that much. His skills seem okay, but we also didn't scout him as well as I would have liked to. 75% chance on 3 years, potential for X Factors, probably not gonna have him. And low potential for medium, you know, really low accuracy, medium elite, but I think compared to the other guys here, like this guy is 2 bars, but we also didn't scout his skills and stuff that well. And same goes for these guys. Like I think we have a really great defenseman prospect in the pipeline who's probably going to be playing with us next season. So let's see, second round, medium top 6, 65 overall. Oh, he does have 2 superstar abilities, so he does come with those. That's actually not that bad. Yoink and quick draw for a right winger is kind of weird, but yeah, pretty solid pick to start the second round. We'll go to our next one, number 43. Alright guys, I'm going to decide to take a little bit of a risk here and select Ted Carlton. You know, we scouted him pretty well as far as the style and scouting rank goes. Didn't scout him that well on the skills, but they have him pretty high rank, potentially 50-50 low elite, very low accuracy on the ETA, but has a similar style to Vladimir Tarasenko, so looks interesting. Kind of a risk here, but again, we have a really solid first round pick, so let's see. And he's a low top 6 actually, so not terrible, 62 overall. You know, definitely could have been better, but you know, look at the potentials here, top 9, so low top 6. Could have been worse, but not super disappointed with that. We'll go to our next pick here, number 66. Alright guys, I'm going to select a goalie here in the third round, Emil Vinny, 50-50 medium elite, though guaranteed 3 years ETA, potential superstar abilities. Stats look pretty good based on what we scouted him for. Best possible choice here listed for this position. You know, we have 1 goalie in the pipeline, I say we get 2 in there, and medium fringe starter, so not terrible. He actually does have a superstar no-timer, pretty interesting there. But yeah, stats were okay, but you know, worst comes to worst, he doesn't develop, trade him away for another like 3rd round pick or something. So not the worst, could have been better, but 65 overall, not bad rated goalie coming out of the 3rd round. So we'll go to our next pick here at number 93. Alright, we're going to select Hugo Franson here, 50-50 low top D. 3 years ETA though, potential for superstar abilities. Probably not going to have that in the third round here. Didn't scout his skills that well, but early indications say they're pretty decent. Let's see what he is. And oh man, that sucks. Low 7th D. So that was definitely a bust. Don't know what our scouts were doing with him. But we'll move on. Pick number 142. Alright, so at this point we kind of just have to select the best possible choice. At the overall, we're at 142nd. We got Holden Black here. Pretty decent, you know, stats. Low accuracy, not going to be top 6 for sure. Not going to have that superstar ability. 5 years. Probably going to be like bottom 6 or something, but best choice we have here. And yeah, he's a bottom 6, 52 overall. We're probably going to go for these medium elite potential guys because it's like, you know, they're here. They'd be really low rated though, which is like an issue here, but at this point it's like they're the highest rated. So we're just gonna go 55, low bottom 6. Again, like that's what these guys are looking at. Going to pick 194. Let's see what the best is. These guys are gonna be super low rated though. I guess we'll just go with a medium top 6 guy and see what he ends up being at 194. AHL top 6, so that kind of sucks. But that'll be the draft for us. And oh man, those like first 3 picks, I want to say, were super good in the first round for us, especially that number 11th overall, 81 overall, just insane to me. So really successful draft for us. We're definitely going to get that guy signed here. So let's head into it. Let's head into the re-sign phase. Oh my gosh, guys, so look at this. Ryan Suzuki went up to an 80 overall, 23 years old. He literally asks for like the bare minimum for an 8-year contract. So we can literally get him for like nothing for the entire duration of this franchise series. Would have him until he's 31. I'm honestly considering doing it just because he's so cheap. And he could end up being so good for us, and if he doesn't pan out, like again, his contract's so cheap that like we could, you know, just trade him away for something. But typically from what I've seen, he develops pretty well. So I'm actually gonna send this a crazy offer in. I'm gonna do 1.15. Or actually, let's just do 1.2 just to entice him a little bit. That would be insane. Again, like this is just crazy, but he's a really good player, honestly. I feel like this would benefit us to get him locked in. And again, if he doesn't pan out, we can just trade him away. His contract's dirt cheap. It's not going to be hard to trade that away. Alright guys, so we did get Suzuki locked into that massive 8-year extension for literally nothing. Literally like just over $1 million. That is an insane ad for us. I think he's going to develop really well. Probably going to start the year as like a third-line center, maybe even second, depending what happens with free agency, but either way, super good signing for us. Alright, so we signed that number 11 pick, Casey Apostolopoulos, to his entry-level contract. Obviously, it's 17 years old, 81 overall. We wanted to get him locked in. I can't remember where he's from, so I'm not entirely certain if he'll be able to start playing with us right away, or if he needs to reach 18 years old. But again, getting him locked in, even better if he can start right away. And we got Braden Yeager coming onto the team. Dude is probably going to be such a rock for us, so really happy about that. Alright guys, so Reichel is asking for an extension. I'm going to send him in 4 years at $3.5 million, see what he says. He would still be an RFA at the end of it, so could work out for us. And again, not that expensive. He's developing pretty nicely for us, so we'll send it his way, see what he says. Alright guys, so we did get Mrazek renewed for 1 more year. He's only asking like 1.8 million or something, which isn't that expensive. Could be our starter again, unless there's someone else really good that's available. Obviously now we're going to start being more aggressive with free agency. We have a ton of cap space, getting all our rookies signed, so hopefully we can make some moves with that, but good to have him back as either our starter again or as a backup. We also renewed Taylor Radish for just 1 season at $2 million on the nose. He was pretty good for us, and you know, again, this is kind of just to tide things over, see how our prospects develop, and just someone to sort of fill the roster spot until then. Probably going to be on our 4th line next season. So Reichel did say yes to that contract offer. Really good signing for us. 4 years for him to grow and develop and still be an RFA by the end of it. So great signing there. We also signed Villeneuve, who was our 4th overall pick in this year's draft. Really good. He'll be able to slot right in with us this coming season. We also signed Mikael Karlsson, who you guys know was the generated defenseman last year. He's up to an 83 overall, so he will start playing with us next season as well. Alright guys, so to bolster our goaltending situation a little bit, I'm going to offer Matt Murray a 2-year contract, 1.65, 30 years old, so he's actually younger than Mrazek, and better than him too, but that would give us 2 like decent goalies for the year with an 83 overall and 82 overall. So we'll send this in, see what he says. Alright guys, so Kasperi Kapanen is here, available, 27 years old, 84 overall. I'm going to offer him 3 years at $3.075 million. Again, we have some of our rookies on their entry-level contracts, so I kind of want to structure this so that like these guys will be ending, you know, at the same time or around the same time. So let's see, bump that up. He doesn't ask for much more. Drop him to 2 years. He asks for just that. So I think, you know, probably what I'd want to do is, yeah, have them end at the same time, because then, you know, we can make better decisions. You know, release them into free agency and re-sign them is a possibility. So we'll send this his way and see what he says. Another interesting ad here is Denis Gurianov. I like him. He's a good player, 27 years old, 83 overall. You know, we have a lot of spots to fill on our roster here. I think we need like 4 more skaters. So trying to fill them with pretty good deals, like good value players. He seems pretty good. I think what I'm going to do here is give him 2 years and keep it at 3.1, and we'll see what he says to this. Alright guys, so someone else I'm interested in is Mats Zuccarello here. Only offering him 1 year, sort of tide us over until next year's free agent batch. And you know, he's a really good player, would slot in well to a top line. Again, trying to fill out a couple of these roster spots here just to tide us over 1 year. He's only asking for 1 year. So I'm going to send him in 4.75 and see what he says to this. Alright guys, so Gurianov accepted our offers. This is a team that's destined for a good run in the playoffs. Buddy, I don't think that describes us right now, but I appreciate the optimistic outlook. Good signing. Kapanen also said yes, good 3-year contract for him. He's a very good player. I think he'll add a good scoring touch to our lineup. Matt Murray also accepted, so we got him locked in for 2 years, so at least we have a starting goalie. And Zuccarello accepted. Interesting. So 1 year contract, likes the fact he can take a leadership role on the team. I agree, you know, veteran guy, still has so much skill, really good player, such a good playmaker. I think he's going to add a lot of good things for our team this upcoming season. Alright guys, so we're ready to head into the new year. To end the episode, as always, go over the lines. Our first line looks kind of gross, not gonna lie. They get a +5. Got Zuccarello, Reichel up to an 84, and Apostolopoulos there, an 81 overall, 18 years old. Second line, we got Domi Suzuki there, centering the second line, 23 years old, 80 overall. Want to give him some more chances to grow. Gurianov there actually went up to an 84. Pretty nice to see. Jeannot there up to an 83. He'll be playing on the third line with Villeneuve and Kapanen there. Villeneuve there, obviously our pick, 4th overall pick there, centering the third line. And then 4th line, we'll have Khrushchev, Tepley, and Radish. Not a terrible 4th line, honestly, but definitely like the lineup looks pretty good. Defense actually looks kind of gross. This Mikael Karlsson there, selected him 2023 at 12th overall. My goodness, his stats are gross. Up to an 84 at 19 years old. Pairing him with Seth Jones, I get a +5. absolutely nasty. Then we got Korchinski there. I literally forgot about this kid. I forgot that they selected him. But offensive defenseman playing on the second pairing with McCabe there, the two-way defenseman. They get an even correlation. And then bottom pairing, we actually went out and signed Giordano just to fill in. They get a -1, but, you know, two older defensemen here. Pretty good bottom pairing there. As for goaltending, we have Murray as our starter, Mrazek as a backup. So, you know, a more solid goaltending tandem this season. I think we made some really nice improvements to our team this year. Obviously, we still have Jaeger developing in the minors. He'll be ready next year to play with us. But, you know, I think we got, you know, 4 rookies that we drafted, right? Villeneuve, Apostolopoulos, and then we have Carlson and Korchinski there, so they're growing. Then we have Reichel developing so well for us. Kurashev, a good depth option there, 82 overall, 24 years old. And then Suzuki here, hopefully 23 years old, 80 overall. Hopefully he can develop by giving him more ice time. We have him on that absolutely bonkers, ridiculously cheap contract. So hopefully he pans out. So I think this team looks, you know, much better going into next season. We made a lot of great improvements to our lineup. And I'm excited here to see what they can do. So that'll do it for this episode, guys. As always, if you enjoyed the video, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Thank you so much for the support, and until next time, have a good one, y'all.